with another tutorial, and this will show you how to plug in MIDI pads into Ableton Live. You can run it through Ableton Live directly, but that is not my preferred method. In fact, I wouldn't load it as a VST in Ableton itself. I am going to use a host and plug that host through a virtual MIDI cable into Ableton. This way you can have MIDI pads up on the screen all the time while you're tweaking in Ableton. So in order to actually get everything to work right, you're going to need 3 programs. And of course the first program will be MIDI Pads. The Piz has put this program and a whole bunch of other different MIDI tools together, so if you are looking for something else, check back here. He's offering all of these for free, but he's always asking for donations, so help him out. Toby Bear Productions creates a VST hosting software, and this uses ACO, an ACO technology, and if you need an ACO driver, there is one out there called ACO for All. It's a really good one, and that's the one I use. And it helps a lot with latency if you, instead of using direct Windows drivers to plug your audio in. And LoopMIDI, which is a virtual loopback MIDI cable, which will connect the VST host to Ableton. Once you get all 3 of these, and maybe 4 if you don't have ACO, I'll get you started. Alright, so start up LoopMIDI, the virtual MIDI cable. I mean, you can find others out there, but I use this one because it's really straightforward and simple. Name a new port and click the add button. I've already added mine as MIDI Pads port. And if you close it after you open it, it doesn't actually close, it goes to the background and continues to run. Next thing you're going to want to do is open up MiniHost, and this is where you'll load in MIDI pads. As you can see down here, ACO for All started up when I opened up the MiniHost. Alright, to get the VST in there, you go under VST, load VST plugin, and find out where you put your plugin for MIDI pads. Once you get that set up, go under Configure MIDI ports and make sure your MIDI out is set to MIDI Pads port. Click OK, and go in and open up Ableton. Alright, there's still a few more steps to get this all set up. And the first thing you want to do is go under Options to Preferences, go to your MIDI Sync tab, and under your MIDI ports, under Input, you'll see the port that you created using LoopMIDI. And here you want to make sure you turn Remote to On. That way, MIDI Pads will be able to send the information into Ableton, and Ableton will be able to read it as MIDI information. And that's it. That's pretty much how you set it up. And just to show you that those steps work, I'm going to turn Pad 9's Y-axis into the main volume control for the master channel and show you that it actually works. So I'll just do something real quick here. UCC, use Y position, turn off the X position. So now it only triggers up and down on the Y position. And under values, you'll note the control channel is set to 8, and you're going to want to change the control channel for each pad, or the note number, depending on if you're going to use them as pads or if you're going to use them as control pads. So anyway, here in Ableton, just click the MIDI mapping button, and I'll click the main volume here, and I'll just run this up and down, and you can see it says channel 1 and control channel 8 and what it's actually going through. So turn off the MIDI mapping button and slide this up and down, and you'll notice in the window the Ableton window, the master volume slider is going up and down as I move this over here in MIDI Pads. So we know it works. If you have any questions, post them to me, email them to me, and all of the programs, you'll find the links to them in the description of this video.